Yeah? Okay. Hello everybody, welcome to our Two Red Robins new launch of Flower of the Month. Now this is just beautiful. It does hold a little bit of a special place in my heart because it is the wild rose. Now roses is one of my favourite flowers, especially because of all the different species. There are some beautiful scents that you can get with the roses, and also each one has got a little bit of a different definition. Ones like the red roses, like for love, etc. So the Victorians had a whole language through flowers. Each flower meant something. So if you had a bouquet back in the Victorian age, they could either be very smarting and be sending you something that's like they're not very happy with you, or it could be the language of love, really. So this is going to be with all the SVG files. Now, as a lot of you may be aware, you can actually, when you actually get the SVG files and you've downloaded them, you will be able to see you get so much, okay? You'll get 3 different sizes. As a general rule, you will always get what is classed as the original. So that is the size that the die would have been, okay? And then depending on what the limitations of the actual die is, you will get a large, an extra large, or you will get an original, a large and a small. Not very often do we do extra small. Sometimes you might do, but it's rare, okay? But you will get those 3 sizes, so at least 3 jumping off sizes. But in addition to that, you get the reversed reflections. Can't do that with a die. Well, not in this particular case. And you also get your decoupage pieces. Again, can't do that with the dies either. So when you get the dies, you'd have to do all the snipping. And you can manipulate the size if you want to. Like I say, the 3 sizes we give you are only jumping off sizes, okay? Just a starting point. You can manipulate when you print out to your heart's content. So, the thing that I am actually going to cut on the ScanNCut today is I want to cut a couple of the matte layers that then is going to be put on my project. So there are 3 videos, all for the Flower of the Month. The first video is the Minecraft Studio, which I've just done, which has then created my backing papers for my project. The ScanNCut, the SVG side of it, is what's going to create my actual card blank. And then in addition to that, I will use those 2 elements to then finally create and use my die. So all 3 pieces will be used together, because that's why we give it you all together, because they work hand in hand. It's phenomenal. So to start off with, what I'm actually needing is, I need the matte layer for some of these, okay? So rather than, the die is a split unity. So when you actually get it on as an SVG file, it's one whole one. But I don't just want one, I want 2 or 3 of them. So by using the SVG files, I can actually multi-cut, which is super for me because I haven't got to keep sending it backwards and forwards. We're going to retrieve data. So we press retrieve data. We want the USB because that's what I've saved it onto. Now I know that the SVG on here is my Flower of the Month. Open up my Wild Rose SVG and I need the over the edge elements. So when I open this, you will then see you get your detail cuts, which is the one with all the lines in. You get your matte cuts, which is what I actually want to cut. And your reflection cuts are the ones that are your printed reflections. Now, I know Andrew is going to put a link in the bottom of underneath this video that will take you through to the video that shows Mel teaching you how to cut out your reflection cuts, okay? So we're not going to do that here because we've already got that education filmed for you. So if you click on the link below, if you're still unsure of how to cut out your reflections, that will take you to the lovely Mel that then teaches how to cut that out. So now we want matte cuts because they're the ones that I'm needing. And this is where the size comes in. Look, so you're going to get a large. Original is what I'm looking for, and the small, because I want to cut the mattes out for my original size dies. So I'm going to click on that one and press OK. That sets it on a working mat. And now I want to do 2 or 3 of these. So if I go into Edit, Object, Edit, and go into my multiple, 1, I want 3 of those, press OK. I might not use all 3, but it's just nice that I can actually do this, set the machine cutting, and I get the opportunity to do the other bits as well. So I'm going to pop it on my mat. I'm going to align it at the top, like so. And I'm going to let that quickly cut that out because the basis of the rest. So I'm going to load my mat up to the rollers. Oops, like so. Press load mat up here. It's taken the mat in. I'm going to click now on the screen. I'm making sure that that's down. Press OK, OK again and again. Please select, I want to cut. Yes, please. And off it'll go. Now, on the screen at the moment, you can see here, it says it's cutting and it suggests that it's 2 minutes. Now, I'm going to say this isn't going to take 2 minutes. What it's actually doing is if it's 1 minute and 1 second, it will automatically tell you it's going to take 2 minutes, okay? It always rounds it up to the following minute. It could be 1 minute and 59 seconds and it will tell you it's 2 minutes, okay? So as soon as it goes into the second lot of numbers, as in minutes, it rounds it up, yeah? So I'm going to let that do its cutting. I have now got my backing papers. So now all I'm going to choose is the order in which I want to cut my backing papers. Now I know I'm cutting an aperture, so I know I'm already doing that. And within my aperture, I want to be able to see one of my images that I've already printed. Okay, so that's my starting off point. So I've chosen the Minecraft Studio pieces that I've cut, and now I can work with what I've got here. But I have got some plain white cardstock that I will also cut out my actual pieces from. So here we have it finished. So up here it says finish cutting. I'm going to press OK because it's done. And then I'm going to go backwards because that takes me back to my working screen, and I'm going to press unload my mat like that and just close the door out of the way. So on here it's finished. So if I just peel that away, ta-da, it's done all the hard work for me. I haven't got to keep using my die and sticking it back on again and again and again. So now I've got 3 wonderful mat layers ready for my project. So moving on from there, I need a square card and I'm going to put circle apertures in. So let's quickly go back to the machine. Okay. I'm going to press home because I don't need any of that now. I'm now retrieving data off of the machine. So I want to go into pattern. I want the square, set that on the mat. Okay. And I'm going to edit that and I'm going to make it, let's have a little look on here. Put my glasses on, that will help. I'm going to use it 6 by 6. So I'm measuring on my lovely kit and caboodle glass mat. There we go, look. 6 by 6, okay? So yeah, I'm happy with a 6 by 6 card. So now I need to make this 6 by 6, and we've already got it on the inches. Now, if you prefer working with centimetres, if you go into your tools setting here, that's where you can change it to millimetres and inches. But I like working in the inches, especially when I'm doing card sizes. So I'm now going to increase that to 6 by 6. And, oops, a bit too far. I got a little bit trigger happy. Happy. All right, that's my first one. So now, same thing again. Pop that on there. Pop it in to the machine. Press load mat. It's now loading. Press OK. OK again. Oops, not add. OK again. And cut. Start. Now this is now my card blank that we're working with. So we're now making our card base from scratch, which is just fabulous. It tells me a minute, as I explained earlier. It isn't a minute, it's probably going to be more like 20 seconds, okay? Not even that. Unload my mat. So that is my card blank. That's the first piece, that's the back, okay? So I need to cut that again, but this time I'm going to add in an aperture. So I'm going to press OK and I'm going to go back because I still need this 6 by 6. Add, pattern, patterns that are in the machine, drop down, I know it's 2, circle, set. Okay, so now I've got this circle. Now I need to align that to make sure it's in the middle. So edit, object edit, no, alignment, which is this one. Okay, now we need to also highlight everything on there. So I need to go, I've jumped forward a couple of steps there. So I'm going to press OK to go backwards. We need to go into select everything or multiple select. Everything on the mat, press OK. Now go into alignment. That's better. That's the right way to do it. Into the alignment function, and I want to centralize it horizontally and vertically. Press OK. I'm happy with that. However, it's a little bit small, the circle. So I've now got it that I've highlighted just the circle. These 2 keys will flip from one to the other. So I want it on the circle. I'm going to go back into object edit because we are editing the object. We're going to change it. I'm going to make it, tiny bit bigger, resize here. So it's not quite 4. So I'm going to take it up to about 4. I'm going to say 2.5, so 4 1/4 ish. No, 4, that's it, 4.15. Lovely. Happy with that. Press OK. And now I can cut that out. Now remember, we're making all of this from scratch. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you what to do is how then to change your aperture. And it means that you change what you make one smaller and you make the other one bigger. So you make your square smaller and your aperture bigger. Let's just set this cut in, go all the way through to cut. And that way you create your mats and layers, which is brilliant. Okay, love that the machine does all of this for us. So when that's cut out, I will then show you how to create the mat and layer, and then we'll start building the card. So, oh, something in my eye. So now it's going to cut the aperture for me. And how easy is this that you can do this with your machine? Unload the mat, okay, unload the mat. But I never throw away. I always keep whatever has been on my mat. That is fabulous now for me to be able to use in any way, shape or form as a mat layer somewhere else. I never throw out whatever I cut out of an aperture, especially with the ScanNCut, because now the other apertures that we're going to be using will mat and layer onto here. So I'm now going to then show you how to make this change it. So what we need to do is we need to make the square smaller and the circle bigger. Okay, square is smaller, circle is bigger. So we get a white line on here and we get a white line on this piece. So that's really easy. It's just altering them on their own. So we're going to press back, going to edit. Now that circle, we can change the size. So we go into object edit, into the size, and I'm going to just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then press OK. I'm now going to go to my square, back into object edit and resize. And now I'm pressing the minus key, not the plus. So I'm now going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is now smaller, okay? And I've got a perfect matte layer that is going to sit on top of what I'm doing. So let's press OK. Bring in the darker of the two pinks. Pop my cardstock on here. Remember, I got this lovely cardstock off of the Minecraft Studio. Pop that into the machine. Load the machine. And you do this exactly. So if you want 3 layers, 5 layers, it doesn't matter how many layers that you put on here. This is how you create your matte layers, okay? And it's the same for any shape either. So I'm going to set that cutting. Cut, off it goes. Yes, please. So you can now put triangles in your squares. You could have a rectangle and put ovals in it. And by doing the same, changing them individually, okay, works beautifully. And then you're creating your matte layers that are going to fit perfectly on top of what you've already created. It's the same, exactly the same, as long as you're working in singles. So you change your square and your circle, but you don't move them. All you're doing is manipulating the size. So that is now my matte layer, which is going to sit on here. It's only a small one. Look at how fine you can get your matte. Look at that. Okay, so now we can do that again with the other ones. But in addition to that, remember the waist? I've now got a beautiful pink mat that is going to sit underneath my white one, okay? So, now we've done that, like I say, you've got your lovely matte layer for your circle if you wanted to use it. Then, same thing again I have done with my green one. But I changed my mind a little bit and I quite like the circle being the same, because then what I did is I also fussy cut that lovely backing paper to go inside. So let's put this together, and then that is the basis of what the card is. So I've already put my tape on the back of my square and my aperture and stuck that together. I've got a little score line down the side, so that's the first stage. I've got tape on the back of that lovely backing paper that I made. So I'm going to open that up, and that is going on the inside. And because when you print everything off, it's all going to match beautifully. This is going to be a fabulous little project when you finish it. I've popped some tape just top and bottom. Don't know how many times I could have had to go at doing that tape then. That was like so. Just going to pick it up because I actually find it easier to align it when I've actually lifted it off the table. So that is that one going on there. And then I've got my fabulous foam tape to finish off because I want to lift this layer up. So I'm going to go around the edges, and I've left this till last to show you, like so, because I don't want this to get crushed. I don't want it to like get squashed. So I've gone all around the edges, and then I'm just going to put a little square in like so. Now I'm not taking the backing off of those little squares. I'm only going to take the backing off the majority of it. Can you see how it lifts that forward? And I've got that lovely floral right in the middle now. Okay. So all the way around. And again, I am going to pick this up so I can get it spot on and level. And then this is my lovely card blank that I am now going to finish off with my dies in the next video. But that is a lovely little notelet all on its own accord. Okay, So you could have now have a little message on there, a little sentiment that says, just for you, get well soon, thinking of you, happy birthday, best wishes, or it could just be a little notelet with a letter inside telling everybody what the family's been up to just recently. So again, super cute card, just using the backing papers from Minecraft Studio, but also using the fabulous pieces. And remember, at the beginning, I actually cut these pieces out. So let me just lay that back down. Now, only using one of those. Now, okay, let me just show you the difference. So I'm going to drop this on here. Let me use my tweezers. That is very lovely, isn't it? Very lovely. Love it. However, I pop that now onto there and sit that on top. It makes it pop, okay? It gives you that moment of separation. So that's why I did these, because these are now going to decorate my lovely card in the next video, which is for the die collection. So thank you very much for joining me for that little bit of inspiration. I hope you've learned a little bit of something different, how to make your mats and layers, and especially your apertures, and also working in conjunction with your Minecraft Studio as well, which is just phenomenal. So I'll see you all again real soon. You take care. Bye.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.